Okay, this one really is completely different video. Shoot, I'm dropping stuff. Well, anyway, I got like 4 channels on YouTube. What the heck is that? 4 different channels, but I figured I'd throw it on this one. I'll show you what I've been doing. That's wire on there, but it ain't. Okay, so this is my solar system panel. As I mentioned before, I think in one of the videos, I got 400 watt solar panels for 100 watts, so it's a total of 400 watts in parallel now. So that's going to be just 12 volts. So I put together this. The only thing I'm missing is I'm going to put a couple of outlets over here. Double outlets, so I'll have like 4 coming from the inverter to there, so I won't have to reach behind the inverter to plug 110 volts in. I'll have them right here. And then I'll still have another outlet there. But, so what I got, this is for 12 volts, this is my 12 volt power source, all fused. I could change the fuses, so it takes 12 and I've only got 6. I don't think I'll ever need any more than that, but so I got this one for 12 volts, cigarette lighter I call it, plugged into a 30 amp fuse, tapped into 30 amp, and then your negative. So what I have is I did the math and I got this fixed where perhaps this inverter is 1,000 watt, 2,000 watts peak. I don't even believe that. But even 1,000 watts, I don't plan on even going probably no more than 5, not even at that. If I did, that would be the max. But it's good for 1,500 watts because I put to see. These are 4 positive here, the number 4 positive going here, and the number 4 positive going over here. Then a 4 gauge negative going over to the 12 volt bus bar. Then I had to put a bus bar over here for my negative number 4 because like this only will take 2, barely will take 2 because it's not long enough to take 3. So I had to put a bus bar in because I just didn't have enough wire, because the battery's supposed to hook up here too, the negative of the battery, and that's, I got a ampere hour, a lithium iron phosphate battery, 200 amp hour. Yeah, that's a lot of. So what I got is the positive from this circuit breaker from the battery will go here, and the negative will go here on this terminal. So a positive coming in feeds the bus bar, the inverter, and also goes to a 50 amp breaker down to a let's see what I put in here, 8. Is this 4 or is this 6? I don't remember. No, this is 6. I'm sorry. So 1 to 4 to 6 going into the battery on my charge controller, and then a negative, of course, will be the negative terminal here, feeding negative on the solar controller, the inverter, and the negative on my bus bar for the 12 volts. This here is a display for monitoring the charge controller. I don't know. I think I might set the parameters on this. I'm not sure. If not, I could set them on here, you know, parameters. And then monitor everything on this little cage here because it's plugged in by a cord here going into the COM port on the thing. This 35 amp, these here, by the way, this 50 amp and this is 35 amp. This is going to be where the solar panel hooks to this side, and it goes in there. Why did I choose black for? Oh, because it's all got, the other one will be black too, because they're all black. And then the negative, so the positive from the solar panel here, and then the negative naturally will come over here. So everything is fused. This is 120 amp. Now these are automatic resets, and this one's manual. So if it busts, this, you know, opens, there it is, and you just push it to reset it. It's 120 amp. The battery will have fused, and it will be 125 amps because I don't have the paperwork here with me, but it says to, you know, after you do the formula, you're supposed to multiply by 1.2. Well, I didn't. I did, and I didn't like that in some ways because sometimes they tell you multiply it by 1.25, and so that 1.25 is 125 amps for 1,000 watt. So I put 125 on the battery. It's a blade fuse, and then 120 here. So it hopefully this will open this breaker first before it blows the fuse on my battery. That's the reasoning behind that. This will open up if there's a problem and protect my solar charger. And it'll automatically reset once. And then this one here, I get, like I said, it's for the solar and it's automatic reset. So that's what I've been working on. I did mount these. I see everybody mounting them just flush on the board. I kind of elevated them with some square nuts. Hey, get some air in the bottom. It doesn't hurt. So I went that way with that. So it's ready to go except for the, like I say, I want to put 2 outlets there. There'll be four outlets here, and then plug it in here. That way you just use this. You don't have to reach back here. Anything coming in from 12 volts, 110. So I can monitor everything off of this display here, and whether it's set the parameters for the battery and the solar panel on this solar charger. It is the MPPT. I didn't want the other version. They come in kits, but I did not want the kits. I decided to go with my own build. And in the event that I have to go with 1500 watts, I can, you know, I might have to make a little difference in the length of wire, but excuse me, these number 4s will handle a 1500 watt. So I went oversized on these. I don't want nothing getting hot. And these are 6. This, they call for a number 12 wire for the solar. No, I went with 10. Even bigger on that. So that's it. So all I gotta do is put the 2 outlets over here, plug them in, And the fan down here, the cooling fan, is right here. So when it's going to be setting up like this, or this will be the top. Fan's down here, nothing can get into the fan. And so I think I thought of everything. I'm pretty sure. This little port right here, it says, I don't know if you can see that it says temperature sensor. Shoot. That plugs in and it goes to your battery. Battery overheats or something, it stops this. And and you could just take and put it on one of your battery cables, your negative, way up close, and I could wire tie it on, or just tape it to the battery. I think I'll wire tie it to the battery lead, real close to the battery, as close as I can get it to the terminal. So that's what that port's for. And this one here is 12 volts out. I will never use that. That's why I got this. This will never be used. I don't like that concept there. So, yeah, it's all there. It's ready to go, except for my 2 outlets, and that's so. I've got to wait till the spring to set up my solar panels and to get them mounted. They'll be mounted on a rack, because I don't want them on the top of the roof where I can't get to them. And 400 watts is, it's not necessarily a starter. But I can, run quite a bit of stuff on this, provided I get a lot of sunny days. And once that battery gets, that lithium iron phosphate battery gets up to full charge, and you got sunlight, you can run just about anything you want during the day and just keep it charged in the battery. And you can run this battery down to way below 50 cents if you had to, 50%, but I never will do that. I'll set the parameters there to keep me from doing that. But yeah, it's these look like aluminum or tin terminals, but they're not. They're tin coated copper to keep them from corroding. Same with this. This is wire here is all copper. Everything's all copper here. Even this I looked at when I took and cut the wires off and put my own terminals on here. I says, well, came from China. Unfortunately, that did. And well, actually, this is China. I know this stuff was made in China. This wasn't, I don't think. But this was not. But nevertheless, this was an afterthought because I couldn't put 3 terminals on there. And look at that little bend. It's very sharp. I mean, it's hard to get that one in there. And I wanted to make it short. It's possible. This one's a little longer than I like, but hey, it's hard to bend 4-gauge wire. Now the power, let me see, the battery cables are going to be 2-gauge. Again, and positive will be here for the circuit breaker, and then negative here. So it's all set except for then hooking up my solar panel. And again, putting these at least 4 outlets over here. 2 doubles. So that's what I was working on. So just heads up of what I'm doing, because we always get power outages, and hey, any kind of power, solar power, I might get a 200 watts and run it separately for like my security cameras and maybe a laptop. Oh, you can actually use a laptop on here. Refrigerator will be plugged in here. One of them automobile freezers. Runs on 12 volts. That's what that will be for. And then whatever else that I got for 12 volts. Then of course my 115. So hey, hope you enjoyed a short little video. Thanks for watching.